Hello and welcome to the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast, episode number 85. I'm AJ.
And I'm Steve.
Steve, where are we?
Pour64.
In Mint Hill, North Carolina.
Yes, we are.
Sweet. Well, we're very glad to be here. Glad that they let us take up this abnormally small amount of space that we're taking up right now. Who are we brought to you today by?
The side curtain airbag and the wonderful thing that is for an awful occurrence that just happened.
Dun, 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 dun. Steve, tell everybody what happened to you.
Over the weekend, T-bone steaks were supposed to be for dinner, not an event that occurred Friday morning, where I got T-boned by an F-150 at the dangerous Albemarle and Arlington intersection right outside my neighborhood. So he's probably doing north of 60 as I'm trying to cross this intersection that desperately needs a stoplight.
I'm surprised. I'm quite literally shocked because I've been in this area longer than you have. I've always wondered why there's not a stop sign there, or a stoplight there. Pardon me. But.
Yeah, it's double lanes, opening with median, double lanes, and it's labeled 55. In reality, it's a 70 zone.
Yeah,
and at 5:30 a.m., it is still aforementioned 70 zone.
If you go 60 on that road, you get ran down by a little old lady driving a very old Buick, because that's just how it works. Either way, going to Charlotte, going away from Charlotte, you're going to get ran down if you're going under 60 miles per hour. Well, Steve, what are you drinking?
I got the Victory Connection Sour IPA.
Interesting.
It's sour, it's bitter. It seems to be a pretty good match for my mood the last few days.
Well, I'm just glad you're alive.
Luckily, nothing's broken, just very sore, and I keep feeling I'm going to lose a tooth out of this.
I hear a little bit of popping in my ears. Do you?
That's my jaw that's not
I don't
broken,
think
just fucked up.
I don't think it's that. I think it's something else, but it's not to the point where it's bothersome unless... Well, you know what?
Maybe it's for better that we're not on YouTube Live. Otherwise, we'll get booted for the Eve 6 playing right now.
Yeah, that's true. Let me try to remedy that real quick.
Thanks, Zuck.
Well, we are just glad you're alive and breathing, I assume. Either that or you're pulling a really cool trick on us.
That's a Kill Switch album, Alive or Just Breathing.
Yes. I think it was Revis that had an album called Places for Breathing. That is what it was.
It sounds like the story of last year for us.
Well, you know what? Now the grid's not doing what it's supposed to do, but not that grid.
Like, wait a minute.
It's clearly recording that. Oh, so that's weird that you're drinking a Victory and a sour, because A, you don't like Victory, and 2, you don't really like sours.
My tastes are changing. I hesitate to say evolving, just changing.
I'm having the...
my never-ending quest to experiment. It's like, I'm not hating this, so there's that.
Well, the bitter and the sour kind of probably not counteract each other, but at least complement each other is what I was...
This might as well be a glass of... Oh, my.
That was unexpected. That was very unexpected.
That's incredible.
I love it. Y'all need to get that on the camera right here.
Famous now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, how do you do the mirror image mode of that? That's incredible.
I can't turn it around, but
all right, well,
I can't turn it around. So
I guess we need to borrow some of them so we can
somebody
hold our
needs
heads
to
on stakes.
Somebody needs to take a picture of this because I can't turn this around.
Wait, I've got something for this.
Steve's got it. He's going to take a picture of it. My phone's currently being a camera, so.
All right, look at this out of wide angle.
I'm getting verklempt in here.
Whew. Discuss amongst yourselves.
Rhode Island, neither road nor island. Discuss.
That's amazing.
Y'all have made our days.
Thanks, fan club.
Thanks. We only know 75% of you, but but thanks for playing along. Oh, that was amazing.
That's awesome. It's like, wait, why do I look at myself in black and white over here? What's going on?
Thank you to the strangers who played along. That's amazing. Steve.
Wait,
just to take the picture and show the video. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you got up to take the pit. Yeah. It's a little bit. It's. Yeah, there we go. Now it's up. And no more popping, so that's good. So Dale over there, before you got here, shared a bit of beer trivia. Collectors of beer bottles are known as labiorphalists. Collectors of beer mats are known as tegastologists. I know I got the second one right. I don't think I got the first one right.
I would have called that beer festival goers.
Yeah, I don't think I got the second one, or first one right.
Collectors of beer bottles are known as labiorphalists. I'm going to put a French accent on my Latin.
Everyday French.
Collectors of beer mats are known as...
With Pierre Escargot.
Tegastologists. In Italian, it'd be more fun to... Tegastologists.
Oui.
Luckily, my tegastologists were unaffected.
That is interesting shit right there. Well, we're glad you're healthy, mentally, physically, existentially.
Slightly worse than I was Thursday, but
oh really?
Yeah, it's been not good for the mood, not good for the health, and my middle back is quite unhappy with me more than it had already been.
Well, we can get you another one.
I know some people. Back, huh?
I know some people that know some people.
And the replacement car request has proven quite difficult if I wish to repeat the same thing, and definitely not as cheaply as just completely out of the question. Otherwise, the next viable option is in Utah for $10,000.
Well,
Provo's a long way from here.
I didn't disapprove of your choice, but you know me, I'm sort of the type that has to have it cosmetically like perfect.
Yep.
And it wasn't. So, but you can find you a better option. You might have to wait a little bit, but you can find a good option. Are you stuck on that, or would you consider
that'd be top contender or a Mazda 3 hatchback? Hopefully, of a 14 or newer, so it's not the rejected whale styling.
True. What about that truck?
Yeah, but
don't really.
I remember how much. I was thinking there was a 07 Tacoma at work through the wholesale thing. I was like thinking, I really hated parking that 07 Tacoma when I had it back 8 years ago. Like that's a lot for every day.
I was thinking more about that Frontier that I showed you. Just not completely sold on Nissan.
Nah.
Well, come on. I had a Nissan.
Although for what? Kalen had a Nissan and also hated it.
Yeah.
No, I figured if I'm going to go that route, then I'm going to go even more obscure, get the Suzuki Equator. That's a Frontier, but we'll sold it to Suzuki.
That's amazing. I'm having trouble breathing. I ate an unreasonable amount of cheese for lunch.
Which means the rest of us are going to have difficulty breathing soon then.
No, you know what? I'm not going to do that in public. I also don't do it again in front of my wife because I don't want her to do it in front of me. As far as I'm concerned, she doesn't shit. and I've lived in that fantasy world for almost 11 years now, and don't kill my dreams.
What a Sherman young man.
Well, I went to On the Border, and they had this new chorizo queso pan. So what the picture looked like was that it was a bowl of chorizo with cheese mixed in, and what it ended up being was a bowl of cheese with a little chorizo mixed. So it was the exact opposite. So it was a lot less meaty and a lot more cheese. Still delicious, but filling in a bad way. Not in a satisfying full.
And they started calling it chorizo.
I think it was just called the chorizo queso skillet. Although Casrizo sounds like a Mexican stripper's name.
That or a mobster.
Mexican stripper mobster. I said Mazda.
Mazda. Like speaking of Mazda. Folks, it's a little late to cast your votes now, but guess Steve's rental that he picked up yesterday.
I would have never guessed that.
What were you leaning toward?
Some shit box econo car, like something Versa, something like that, or I never really thought. Although, I mean, how many other chances are you going to get to drive a van around for a while?
not since high school.
Exactly.
Otherwise, there was the 88 Voyager and the 96 Town and Country.
So you went Mopar again.
By complete luck of the draw at Enterprise, and that place was a zoo yesterday. I was there long enough, and then I got stuck in Independence, so I couldn't make it to the Costco pharmacy in time to pick up my painkillers, which I'll probably be repeating that same thing today, just different time frame. So maybe tomorrow I can get my muscle relaxers. Anyway.
Kayla can go get it?
Mayhaps. Hadn't thought that far ahead.
Yeah,
Emily
gets
this is going to make a
prescriptions.
very entertaining weekend doing that for her first time.
Yeah.
Anyway, at Enterprise, it's a freaking zoo. They eventually get to me, and I'm expecting to wind up with like a Nissan Kicks or a Ford Fusion, conventional, small sport ute or sedan rental car. Will a Dodge Grand Caravan be okay? Pardon? I do believe that's a bit overkill. Funny because upon one of the times that Kay's car was in the shop, she had a Caravan for rental as well. I do believe in white. So it's real funny repeating that.
Will you be listening to Planet Caravan? No,
I really hate that song. I don't care for Ozzy's. I don't care for Panteras. And I totally forgot my flash drive today to put into a drive, so I'm at the mercy of terrestrial radio again.
I listen to
104.7's entertaining so long as it's not December.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Because there's really only 5 Christmas songs. There's just multiple covers. I did find out the worst Christmas songs was one by Shadazy. It was a cover of Jingle Bells, and it was pretty much the worst thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I thought it was Shed AC.
It's Sheeta Issy. I have
Sheeta Issy fit.
Nice. Ready to? All right. So the car. So you found one in Utah. What?
The one in Maryland sold. The one in Virginia Beach with the high miles wound up being an automatic. Sold for $8,000, and then was immediately posted the next day by whatever broker bought it for $9,000.
Of course.
And the earlier listing for $8,000 had no pictures, and then could see it's an automatic. Like, whoever's listing these cars are really bad at transmission option. It says manual, and like a spot from the first picture. No, it's not.
You and
Car Guru's, the transmission selector is currently broken, so it just simply gives me all the listings for the cars.
That always bothers. Like, a car will pop up that you know is not a stick, and you're like, come on, man. But you know what? I click it anyway, just in case somebody like retrofitted something.
Which would make zero sense in a 2016 anything.
Yeah.
Never mind. The now previous car had been listed in an automatic on Car Guru / BMW.
Really?
Yeah. So upon looking at the pictures, look at the shift knob on it, it's a heavily worn 6-speed. Like, the 4 and the 6 were missing, but at least could recognize, R135.
Right.
And then 2. It's like, I'm going to give these guys a call. A few months after I bought that one, another one popped up with $100K for $7,500.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been probably right before the used car market went completely sideways. With that same car would be still $12,000 now.
Oh, Emily gets solicitations every day for her Accord, like just from dealership. Used car prices or blah 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 and bleed. And,
it's not that they want your car; they simply want you to trade up and give them more money.
Exactly. I mean,
which is funny because with the 07 Tacoma, I got badgered. With the Scion, not a peep.
Really?
Yeah. Which is funny because anything that looks interesting seems to vanish in a hurry.
Interesting. I got nothing for the Wrangler, but it's a Wrangler, so
it's not exactly rare. Popular,
what?
But not rare.
Shit, I see at least one white Wrangler Sport with a black top every single day. That's not mine. So yeah, I get it. Had I not gotten white, you know what color I was actually... the two colors I was actually wanting were either the tank green one or that orange one.
Okay.
I really like the orange.
I was going to say orange, just for absurdity's sake.
Yeah, the green...
Had one of those roll through the day.
Really? How many of the Wranglers that come in are stick? Probably more than any other car.
25%. Yeah, definitely higher take rate on that. The FRS BRZ, the Fiat Miata.
Mm-hmm. Get me Fiatas?
See a few of them.
Okay.
I would say between the both of those cars, had a Fiat of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mustangs, Camaros, Vets. The stick Challenger's rarer.
Interesting. Yeah, usually.
But I've seen a few of those.
Well, I guess the V6s, a lot of them are auto. But
yeah, but usually the sticks are. The sticks will have a higher V8 take rate. V8s have higher stick rate. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of V6 Challenger sticks.
I know you can get one, but I feel like most of the V6s are going to be auto, because if you're going to get the stick,
that would typically have been rental fare fodder, though.
Right? Yeah, I can't imagine getting a stick rental now. Like I just couldn't even imagine.
That's two, not in this country. That's a thing in Europe, but you're gonna have a really difficult time finding a stick rental outside of Turo stateside.
Gah. I wonder if they have a Turo overseas.
I wouldn't be surprised, or something like it.
Something similar.
It's been a while since I've staked that place out.
Me too. Yeah, it's a good idea, but like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with strangers driving my what makes no difference regular passenger car, much less like having an exotic or something.
Yeah,
around. You'd have to have some serious insurance on that. I'd be doing compression checks after every episode. Every
have
rental.
you heard Rob Ferretti speak ever? It's quite the operation he has, but it also doubles as a horror show.
Yeah, well, so does his voice. Even though I like the guy, but he has that typical New Jersey high pitch,
which is funny because he's kind of a dead ringer for a kid I grew up with.
Oh, really?
And that is a compliment to neither.
How many people from your graduating class do you actually talk to semi-regularly?
Maybe half a dozen via Facebook.
Same.
Yeah, it's a class of, what were we, 240, 270, and
wow, that's
still have a few of them on FaceBase, but not talking with many of them. Just gonna go see blee blee and blah blah. I had a kid, or blee blee and blah blah. Moved to Hawaii this week. What?
Okay, must be hard to be them.
Yeah.
Gee. I'm not sure. Like, I've heard it's nice to visit Hawaii, but I've actually heard that if you're not military or you're not Hawaiian, if you move to Hawaii, you don't get treated as nicely as those folks do.
Family friend that's several years younger than me moved there and is running a compost business and having a blast, but he's super hippy-dippy type, and it's kind of right up his alley. Yeah,
we met a guy in Puerto Rico when we went, and he was very white, and he was surfing, and he was really good. And Emily and I were on the beach, and I was like, down here for vacation? He goes, no, man, I live here. I'm like, cool, man.
Hola, gringo, ¿cómo va?
I was 27, and this guy at the time was probably early 40s, and I was like, oh, how long you lived here? He's about 20 years. So I'm like, what brought you down here? He goes, came for a vacation and never left. I'm like,
nice.
Cool. Met a woman, had some kids, decided to stay. I'm like, there's worse places to be, sir.
Yeah, funny thing about the IMs, there's a strong IM scene in Puerto Rico. One of the guys that's super knowledgeable about that is there.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like, he'll be posting in English and Spanish, but, like, just knows everything in and out of them. It's like, So, all right. So, to Plan A Part 2, follow his advice and make mine a rally car.
Dude, yeah. You could do like Farrah did to the night, have a safari one.
Yeah,
It'd be fucking great.
It was like, I wouldn't mind a RAV4, but that's been dead after 05.
Yeah, that's true.
Or CRV, dead after 11. Or the HRV, available with stick, but not with all-wheel drive.
And ugly.
I don't mind it. I like it better than the Fit.
I like the Fit better, but it's for a completely arbitrary reason. It's no.
Because of the fold flat seats. So
Nope.
Apparently there's nuttiness to be had in the back of a Fit if you'll fit.
I don't like four-door cars where you can't see the back handle. It doesn't look right to me.
Fair enough, but thing is, now that the CHR exists, that makes me like the HRV way more as well.
Oh my God, the HRV is apocalyptically more pretty than that is. And you know what? I saw a Kicks today, and I actually don't hate the way that looks.
It's a shrunken Rogue. I like it.
With a different colored top.
Yeah, available as such. You can get it monochrome, but probably the weirdest one I've seen was gray body with orange top. There's some
Yeah,
weird stuff
that's
to be
what
had
color
with
it was.
those.
It was silverish, like kind of a dull silver.
But thing is, what the Kicks has going for it, it looks so much better than the Juke. I have yet to see a Kicks Nismo.
True.
That was the one advantage.
Kicksmo.
Kicksmo.
Well, if you lifted
Is that
it,
the Busta Rhymes, the Kicksmo squad?
well, if I got one, I would Safari that and lift it really high and call it the pumped up Kicks.
Nice.
But I wouldn't go around shooting because I vote blue.
That's the rest of America.
Hey, no yawning.
Sorry, what?
I said no yawning. That's contagious. Yeah. No yawning. That's contagious. Now we're going to be tired. Like
Gonna be?
Gonna be tired.
Gonna be?
We're heckling crowds. Should we move on to the news?
Sure.
You got something else for us?
An empty beer glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, shit. I guess I want one, too. Maybe, what are you going to get?
Whatever's next on the kick list.
I think they're kicking hotcakes today.
That's a lovely idea.
I think they are.
Yes, let's chance that.
Let's do that.
All
I'll
right.
take I guess we could either yell or...
I'll go TCB.
Okay. His name's Kobe, and he is Sarah's son.
Child.
Sarah's son. Good Lord. It's been a long day, and I wasn't even working today.
Just keep him away from a helicopter.
What we're going to do is we're going to take... yeah, nice. We're going to take and see how many parts are interchangeable from your van and my Jeep. Because... Very glad to Pour for having us here. Very, very grateful for them having us here live. Hello, everyone. Trying to grow this. The stickers are on the way to be for sale for $1 a piece, or if you're out, and I'll just give one to you. Should be here tomorrow. What good timing is that? But thank you all for the continued support and all of your listening prowess. And Steve's going to get us 2 hopcakes from No Die Brewing. It's Kick the Keg here at Pour64. So if you can hear or see this, come on out and hang out here with us or these lovely people who call this place home, just like us. Listening to Delamitri roll to me. It's infuriating to listen to because of the way they mixed it. All the drums are in your left ear, and all the guitars are in the right ear, and the vocals are in the left ear. And it's a really, really disconcerting way to listen to music. It's really not mixed very well. It's just really, really strange. I'll tell Steve about it when he gets back. I got some mind-blowing news for him. You can hear him from here. For the little situation earlier, they got little cardboard cutouts of our faces made and held them up to us, and it was very touching. It was very, very touching. I wish you could have seen it live. But we don't possess the 360 camera ability to do that. So Steve's making friends at the bar right now. It appears that maybe we're out of... Well, I think we actually kicked one of the kegs because I was pouring another beer. Yes, he is. I think we actually succeeded. Did we actually kick one of the kegs? This is all going to make it on the show. I don't care. I got nowhere to be. You got nowhere to be. Steve, did we actually kick one of the kegs?
Yep. So the hotcakes did kick.
Okay.
And the extra time apparently did not. I have no idea what that is.
All right, cool. I was telling the lovely fans that the song that was just playing, Delamitri Roll to Me, A, terrifying video.
Yes, it is.
B, terrifying to listen to into headphones. Explanation upon request.
That's why.
It is mixed so weirdly. All the drums are in your left ear. So normally when they do a drum track, the bass drum and the snare are right down the middle, and then you're like, it's like you're looking at a drum kit where like your cymbal, that cymbal's in this ear. It gives you a stereo image. All of the drums are in this ear. All the vocals are in this ear instead of down the middle, and like the guitars are on one side, the bass is on the other. and it's like it was.
So you're saying if I were to listen to this in the Vibe, you'd have a very difficult time because the stereo would randomly, like, drop channel here and there.
Yeah, that. It's very disconcerting to listen to. I'll let you listen to it one time. I'll let you listen to a normal song and then listen to that one, and you're going to go, that just does not sound good. So I got some cool news for you today. So, Steve, episode 85, news. The Many Faces Initiative seeks to diversify the craft beer industry with scholarships and internships for minorities looking to break into the industry. And they've picked like 4 or 5 breweries in North Carolina. I think Town was one of them, a couple different ones. And it's actually true because like I can only think of one brewery that was owned by a minority, and that was Three Spirits. And, well, they went kiboshed 2 years ago?
Sounds about right.
That was before.
Yeah, it was right before Hell broke loose.
I think it was even before Hell broke loose. I think it was like a year and a half ago or 2. But yeah, I can't think of any like minority-owned, businesses like that many, much less breweries. Yeah. I mean, I know the Mint Hill Coffee Shop here in town. It's minority-owned.
Co.
Yeah, that had
rad, the running gag of moving across the street from itself.
Yeah, and then the people at Ventnor's decide to serve coffee right when they open. Moving on. Speaking of minorities breaking...
Guess where I've never been, either.
Off-air conversation. What did you get?
The Middle James Extra Time. It appears to be an ESB.
Which is good. It's a very... The name is kind of fooling you, but it's good. It's not extra or special or bitter, but it is good.
Or as the Cosmic Connection, what do you expect out of that victory?
Key. Speaking of,
I don't feel terribly spacey right now.
That's good. Or painful.
Until painkillers proper, this will do.
Okay.
Yeah. The earlier pre-recording comment I made was, "Oh yeah, it's just what I needed to sit on this awful stool in my back in the state of condition it's in."
Well, you could sit on my lap, but then
go on.
We would have to run the microphones really strangely. I like that was where I went with it and nowhere else. Camilla Masunda opens the first black-owned winery in Charlotte called Ebony Wine and Spirits. So evidently, this lady is making wine, a younger African-American lady. So I'm down to drink wine. So
well, you like your sangria, you like your sweet wines, you like. A Riesling would be fantastic.
And that port.
So you're halfway there.
And port-aged bourbon.
And somewhere along the way, like when I got the hang of sour beers, is when I finally didn't hate my lovely box of Costco white wine I'd picked up, the Pinot Noir. Like, this sucks less than I remember.
Wait, Pinot Noir's white?
Excuse me, Pinot Grigio.
No, yeah, I was going to... Okay, Grigio, yeah. Pinot Noir is noir.
I don't care if it's the first. It's a long month already.
I said my post today was, remember, today don't believe anything you hear or see, just like every other day. And in April Fool's birthdays, happy birthday, Method Man.
Nice.
Who got his name from an old martial arts film he saw as a kid.
Nice.
And also he's 50. And happy 60th birthday, Susan Boyle.
Yikes.
Got a great voice.
And
personality.
Yeah, that's it. That was long enough ago. I was listening to morning radio regularly, and one of the commentators said, "Yeah, she looks like either Brezhnev or Khrushchev."
Wait, you were watching Joe Rogan? Oh, that's news radio. That was actually a decent show.
Like morning show radio.
Yes.
Yeah, because Phil Hartman.
Oh, Phil Hartman was great.
And back when Joe Rogan had hair and didn't smoke weed, it was a very different time.
Very strange. Asahi Group's Carlton and United Breweries, CUB, in Melbourne, Australia, is buying extra residential solar energy from consumers at their homes and paying them in beer.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you live in Melbourne and you have solar panels on your house and you have extra energy to give, they will buy your extra energy and give you booze for it.
Best I can do is Melbourne, Florida.
Oh yeah, there is a Melbourne, Florida. Just like there's a Lexington every state.
Yep.
What was I going to say? Oh, shit.
There's a Charlotte in Florida, but the port.
Yeah, there's a Port Charlotte. There's
Must be a sweet city.
Heyo. Quit whining. We already talked about this off air, but Burial Brewing of Asheville is opening their tap room in Charlotte. And I think it's in, Plasmid?
Yeah, I was like, oh, congratulations. Are they trying to revive the gig taxi economy? Because parking will suck and a half.
I love going to a lot of those places, even some places downtown.
You know what? Maybe I might as well buy Russ's Vibe I didn't buy a year ago, just to have another beater.
Does he still have it?
I do believe so. I haven't talked to him since then because he was getting pretty damn cantankerous as time went on. It's like, I'm no longer relying on you for vehicular life support, so it was a good tie to sever.
Vehicular life support would be a great garage name if you worked on places. Welcome to Vehicular Life Support. Jesus. There's a lot of places I want to go, like that. If we had either like a good transportation system or good parking, like there's places I would go. There's Mac. There was places I would go, but
this tailwind big enough for three of us.
Oh, I know. I think he's coming to say, hey. I didn't bring another microphone, so yeah. There's not a lot we can do. Hey, Mac. Hey, buddy. Mac's been a 2-time guest.
Wait, are there any heads on sticks for him?
I don't think so. Steve, this might be. I think I found you a new job. Fistful of Bourbon, a new line of spirit released from William Grant & Sons, is offering $100,000 for its next spokesfist or spokesperson. They're taking applications until April the 13th. So you're supposed to have the best fist as their spokesfist. You and I have very similar looking fists.
How are your bruised knuckles looking? Because my left hand, for some reason, has a spectacular patina upon it. And I've, as much as I want to, I've not gone around punching walls. So apparently hand modeling isn't for me until now.
Well, Toby's a puncher. Like, when he gets mad, he's a puncher, because rest in peace my old windshield from my Maxima. I'm not a hitter.
I could say rest in peace the upstairs bathroom door. That's how I discovered it's hollow.
Oh. I'm a yeller. I like to yell, but then I get over it in like 6 hours. So,
and then you're drugged behind a house and shot.
Yeah.
You're an old yeller?
Old yeller. Come back. What? No, it's okay. You can't hear him.
That's why you got to have.
We don't want everybody to hear. We want everybody to enjoy themselves while we're over here enjoying ourselves. I'm just really loud. That's why.
Hi, have you heard us speak, Mac?
So, here we go. This is actually pretty surprising. Russia moves into the number 2 spot for consumption of what alcoholic beverage?
Beer.
No.
Vodka.
They're number 1.
It's like not like they got dethroned. Whiskey.
What kind?
Bourbon.
No. Who else likes to fight?
Irish.
There are number 2 in that. Number 2. Behind the United States. And then,
Ireland's only so big.
Correct. Yeah. But I was surprised that Russia has went from vodka to Irish whiskey. Like, they're still.
I know what I like better.
Well,
excluding my other fairly new love of gin, but what is that but juniper plus vodka?
Juniper.
I
worked with a girl named Juniper. Actually, you know what? You're not supposed to date girls named after seasons or months. I know I dated a girl named after a month.
Rocks are also bad ideas. No crystals, no
ambers,
jades, sapphires,
quartz. This is my girlfriend, Quartz.
This is my girlfriend, Granite.
Don't take her for it.
Whoops.
This is shocking, Steve. Shocking news. Shocking news.
You like the battery.
Volkswagen Group is no longer the number 1 vehicle manufacturer in Europe. they've been overtaken and are in number 2 spot behind
Stellantis.
Stellantis is number 1.
Because they merger kind of skews that a good bit. It's like, well, now Fiat, Renault, Puig.
Who got the Puig?
Yikes. Although in other shocking news, apparently Volkswagen's publicity stunt regarding their move to electric.
Volkswagen. Looking good, Mac. If we would have brought another microphone, you could have just been a guest.
No. I'm just an observer for this one.
I got you. What'd you get?
I got the pro bono vanilla flavor.
Is it free?
I wish. I was always more pro Edge.
Ford? Better than... Oh, speaking of that,
too?
Emily's meeting one of my buyers for my tow hooks in the Harris Teeter parking lot because I can't do it. The only day he could do it was today. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be a little bit busy today and unable to answer my phones. I bet he thinks I'm like a hitman or something because I was like really vague. But I didn't want to tell him like I'm... Anyway, but yeah, Emily's going to meet... I was like, meet him at the Harris Teeter parking lot in front of people.
I'm a voice actor and have something to do this evening. Terribly sorry.
I have one more bit of news, and this is really cool. Sommeliers at the Institute of Wine and Vine Research.
The pirates?
Wait a minute. Capital of Somalia? Mogadishu. In Bordeaux, France, uncorked a $5,890 bottle of Petrus Pomerol wine this week and did a blind test taste compared with a bottle of the same wine they had aged in the cellar. The former one was aged in space. So they took it up in the space, like in the International Space Station, aged that wine for 1 year, and then blind taste tested it. And so the one aged in space had a noticeable taste of burnt orange, campfire, and cured leather. That actually sounds pretty cool. It's not $6,000 cool, but it sounds pretty cool.
I can't wait for that to reach the $20 boxed wine mark, and then I'll bite.
A box of space wine?
Yes. Meanwhile, my new favorite was the Boda Box Bourbon Barrel Aged Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, yeah. You didn't bring that to...
No, that this is more savory than you're prepared to handle, but
okay.
Once you get the hang of it, you'll love it. Until then, it's going to be this strange, dry, not exactly bitter thing, but what can I say? In the last 5 years, Kaylin's made me very cab savvy.
Right. So that's how I got Emily to marry me. I was just like, once you get used to it, you get the hang of it, you'll actually love it. You just got to get used to it first. That's all the news I have today, Steve. So some interesting shit. Now I want space wine and Mexican food.
Okay.
So we're gonna do. Do you want to do the car thing first?
Sure.
I think we should. So Steve had the great idea of doing the history of automotive car safety. I can't imagine why that would ever pop into his head.
My life was recently saved, so here's the tribute of which will surely be derailed, much like someone's automatic seatbelt.
The Mazda?
One of the many missteps along the way. To backtrack to Mazda, not Mazda, the gentleman I was talking to at Enterprise has an October 92 build Mazda RX-7 FD seeing precious little use.
Really?
Yeah. He looked just like Mitch from Modern Family.
I was going to say that's weird because we have a Mitch in our extended friend group who likes FDs also, but doesn't have one. So, what color?
Didn't get to there. We're getting rained on, trying to hand the van off, but it was like cool as hell. Like, wait, you work here at Enterprise and you've got this in your garage, seeing no use. He's like, yeah, I think the last year I've driven it 3 miles to get it inspected, and once it turns 30, it no longer needs to be inspected. It's like,
oh yeah, one more year.
You're well aware that this will be worth a lot of money for so inclined. So if anybody is looking for a 93 RX-7, I may know a guy.
I mean, I'm always looking.
Yeah.
I'm just not always willing to purchase.
Exactly. I think this would be the case of Jeep or the RX-7 plus cheaper Jeep again.
Uh-huh. Although if I'm going cheap Jeep, I'm not going to go cheap Wrangler. I'm going to go cheap Cherokee because, well...
couldn't your sister just give you one? What, she have 9 of them now?
I don't know. There's a lot of them.
That was real fun. She kept popping up with, like, this one and this one and this one. Like, what you doing, Phaedra? Are you farming Jeeps?
Water them and see how they grow.
That's how you get the original Unlimited.
That's true, yeah, which is a pretty rare bird, actually. Before we get started on the history...
That was like the original expensive elder Jeep.
Gee. Before we get started on the car history, how many cars have you owned that don't have airbags? I've
had one registered to me and a couple in the family that I drove on the regular.
But none.
But not only the 89 GTI would have had no airbags under my name, but other vehicles in family that I daily drove were the 84 Blazer, the 87 Toyota pickup, the 88 Voyager, my granddad's 91 S10.
The S10s didn't have them?
That wasn't until the new Rounder style 95 and after it would have had it. This was the 4.3 box on wheels.
Yeah. That was a good engine.
Yeah.
Not very powerful, but...
well, that was a short bed, short cab, 2-wheel drive pickup. So in that application, you bet your ass it was. Rainy days and that thing were a lot of fun, and I was 20 at the time, so...
So 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was 10 years ago when I was moving to Raleigh, not almost 19.
Oof.
That's really strange to think about the everything there.
Mega oof. I have a little blog from Nationwide up about a history of car safety, so this is going to be incredibly helpful. 1903, Mary Anderson, a cattle rancher from Alabama, invents windshield wipers. But
well, for what it's worth, early cars had no windshield to be a concern for that. So that's 30 years into the game.
Yeah,
that's less crazy than it may seem. Okay.
What's strange to me is a lot of the cars you see didn't even have roofs.
Yeah.
So really, what's the point in the windshield wiper? You're not going to go out if it's raining and miserable. Well, if you have to, I guess. But I don't know. It's just
got to get more cattle feed at the cattle feed store.
Did you research on that?
No.
1914.
I'm fairly certain I wasn't concussed, but right now I do have my doubts.
Yeah, well, just rub some Robitussin on it or something.
Yeah, that's it.
Hollywood actress Florence Lawrence, lovely.
No relation to my middle name.
Creates the first turn signal. Hand signals.
Which in the 1920s BMW probably rejected it.
Well, in the BMW turn signals were this.
Don't wave at me that way.
Well, that was if you're making a white turn. 1921, four-wheel hydraulic brakes first show up on a Duesenberg.
That must have been an expensive option.
Oh, I bet so.
Expensive car
In 1921.
So hydraulic brakes, but not discs yet. So
right.
Probably not even drums. What would a...
Well, it had to be. Well, I wonder what the first...
Or...
Feet. So I guess it would...
Don't know...
Hydraulic drums?
It's interesting considering that it's either like pinching it or something's being like pressed against the interior or something. That's how your conventional brakes work with disc or drums.
Yeah, drums are squeezed.
And drums being the cheaper option are surprisingly expensive and complicated.
Labor. That's why. How many cars have you had that had drum brakes in some form or fashion?
The 97 Tacoma.
Was that rear drums?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
front disc,
nothing all drums.
I've had one with all
the
drums.
Blazer, the Elder Lolux.
Now, the newer one had 4 discs. Your truck.
That one I don't know. I don't recall if that did or didn't.
It being that new and Toyota, I would think, but you never know.
That was
single cab.
also that was the extended cab, so not the full 4-door, but like 2 fronts, 2 suicides, and not a high spec model to boot.
Right. The Dodge truck had 4 drums, and which is funny because if you hit the brakes as hard as you wanted to, you didn't really know which way it was going to dive. It'd stop. It didn't want to go because it was so heavy. But
the running joke with newer Tacomas at work is that the brakes work, but you're going to be thrown to the steering wheel. Those have the grabbiest brakes.
Yeah, that was really grabby. And then the Accord was all right. So the Starion had 4-wheel disc brakes all around, which was in 87
stellar in 80. Yeah,
and a 7-band equalizer on the stereo.
The 89 GTI, of course, had 4-wheel discs, but it was go-kart and the top of the Golf line. Yeah.
I don't know if my Astro van had rear drums, but it was the big 4.3-liter Vortec.
Quite plausible given its S10 origins.
True, but it was the conversion. So it had the TV and like the DVD player and shit in it. So
bigger drums. It had bass drums in the back.
Bass drum brakes. The Cherokee had rear drums.
How often do you have to change those?
Once.
Okay.
In my 7 years,
and you said that was twice too many?
Well, somebody pulled out in front of me, and I had to slam on the brakes. I didn't realize they had failed till we got to Oscar Blues Brewing, and then we came back out to Toby and I came back out to the Jeep and had a puddle of fluid up underneath the car, and then had to drive back from the mountains with no brakes.
Did that mechanism also deal with the parking brake?
No.
Okay.
It didn't.
I've heard of some of them, if you have rear drums, like the e-brake may be part of that too.
All right, so it's in the same system, but it doesn't require fluid. So all it did was a cable that kind of pulled and like latched onto the axle, so it held it in place. So the e-brake was fine.
Which is something that one of my hang-ups on, say, the 19 Plus Corollas, the electronic parking brake.
Fuck
I
that.
don't want it to be an on-off switch.
No.
And the trouble with this being a mild winter, I couldn't go do snow nuts in the Scion because that still had a cable brake.
But I couldn't use the e-brake to stop the Cherokee because that's kind of like using a paper clip to hold together the entire dictionary. It's just, the effort's there, but it's not.
It was tired.
Extremely.
Probably the best use of hooliganism I had with e-brake and snow was a 93 Camry. Since that was 190 horses.
Out of 3-liter V6?
Yeah.
Yeah. But still a respectable number. I mean, was it 190 horsepower?
Yeah.
And close torque?
Yes.
The Maxima had 195 horse and 210 torque. That was more torquey. That was a fun car when it
And
worked.
it's funny considering that those cars were styled about the same.
Actually, yeah,
and
a lot of those.
And that's a compliment to both of them. I like the way that both of those looked.
Even the Accord, like the late 90s car styling was, as far as I'm concerned, almost peak. Because, I mean, you still had NSX and you had S2000 come out in the very late 90s in Japan. And all the sedans looked really good. The wagons looked good.
Which made for such lovely pixels on the first Gran Turismo.
That's not the only place pixels showed up. Remember when you first, like, if there would have been HD porn when I was a kid, I would not have any hands anymore. General Motors conduct their first crash barrier front test in 1934, which is weird because airbags were already out. So I just want to crash something into a wall and see what happened, I guess.
Airbags in 34?
No, they just conducted their first crash test.
Okay.
But
I figured like airbags weren't till later, and it wasn't until the 70s that they had any commercial application, but weren't mandated until the mid-90s.
yeah, disc brakes, 1949, which is much earlier, actually, than I thought it would have been. They were standard equipment on Chrysler's Crown Imperial.
The top-of-the-line model at the time.
Yeah. I could imagine how much, if you drove that versus an old like yacht barge with 4 drums, how much better that felt. They probably sold a ton of the cars just for the fucking brakes.
Yeah. Somewhere along the way, the gentleman from Volvo who invented the 3-point seatbelt and refused to patent it and instead give it away freely so all car manufacturers could use that. And that's still the same general idea behind a seatbelt today.
That was next on the list. What year was that?
It's not 49. What, 50?
It's in the 50s.
I thought it was sooner. 52.
59.
Huh.
Which is late, but still a long-ass time ago.
Yeah.
When was Bob born?
53.
Okay.
And what was his first car?
Chrysler Crown Imperial?
No. What's the opposite of that?
Oh, Jesus.
What is the bane of Ralph Nader's existence?
Chevette?
No.
Oh, the Corvair.
Corvair.
Oh, the
he
two-door?
had a 60. I don't know how many doors, but I survived a wreck by modern safety. He survived that by blind fucking luck. That the car about split in half when he crashed it at 18.
Have I showed you the video of the Malibu or the Impala?
Yeah, the
old Impala versus
50s?
the new one?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Mac, pull up the video of the old Impala versus the new Impala in a front crash test and see how much worse the old one is.
Yeah, it's about a 50-year difference.
It's horrible. Oh, my God. When people say they don't build them like they used to, yeah,
Good.
they're right. They don't build them. They build them better than they used to. I mean, they might not be as cool to look at, but... yeah, exactly.
The crumple zone is you. There's your title.
Yes, the crumple zone is you. Nationwide is the first insurer to offer an incentive for using seatbelts. So they actually gave you an insurance discount in 1963 if you had a car with seatbelts.
Was Archie Manning going around checking people for that? Because Peyton wouldn't have been born yet.
That's true. Peyton was...
Whenever.
Yeah, but this is not a sports podcast.
A forehead ago.
Oh, Jesus. HGH, man. He got a instead of a lowercase forehead, he got that capital forehead. Why was it funny? With the funniest thing I saw was had a chick like roast me. She had the big gums and little teeth. It's like, bitch got capital gums and lowercase teeth. 1973, General Motors becomes the first automaker to install airbags in their first in vehicles available to the public.
Oldsmobile.
I don't know. It just says GM. So
I think it was an Olds at the time, since that was their test bed. Holy shit, George Carlin's here on a bicycle.
Man, looks good to be dead for
Yeah.
12 years.
Goodness.
That's a game changer. I mean, I still have a friend who does not wear seatbelts. He refuses to wear seatbelts.
So he's not wearing masks, and he's still a smoker, and somehow is getting away with all this.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him in a long time.
Sounds like a colossal asshole.
I haven't spoken to him since 45 was elected. So nice guy. Just I don't really want to get into any kind of discussion like that. I'm surprised it was. Well, I'm not surprised 73, but like it wasn't even mandated until much later. But we'll get to that. Federal government in 1989 mandates that the driver's seat of all passenger cars have an automatic occupant protection, which included automatic seat belts or airbags,
Which you got some strange alternatives along the way. So this recent accident was only the second time I've had airbags go off in my car.
Right. What was the first one?
The 1990 Volvo versus a Saturn in February of 2000. So the one airbag goes off, and my wrist bothered me a long time following that, and I never got them checked out. And then one day, they stopped bugging me so much, at least until print shop and just having to deal with stacking papers all the time.
See there? If you ignore a problem long enough, eventually it goes away.
Yeah, that's it. I'm really hoping my back follows suit. Got my doubts because it went from irritating to more irritating. Anyway, and this, and also the only 2 times I've totaled cars because airbags are real expensive to replace, as well as the everything else. First would have been Volvo rhinoplasty, and this would have been Scion Astri injection. It hit the back driver door and quarter panel, busts out the glass on the both of those. Really strange picking up something from under hood, and there was a piece of glass under the hood of the car.
Okay.
I can't make heads or tails of how that got there.
Jeez. All right, so yeah, you've totaled 2. Well, have they officially totaled it?
Yes, I got the message yesterday, so
it.
I need to send in the title and some paperwork, and this is the strangest way to boost the car's value by $3,800.
Oh?
Bought the car last April for $8,000.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind, the finicky things along the way to get it up and running, but still not $9,000 to make it good enough.
Right.
Yeah, insurance value was $11,800.
Fuck yes.
This is a literally painful way to boost a car's value, but also used car market being the way it is.
That's true.
All right, that's a tarnished silver lining on top of this.
My Accord that got stolen. I bought it for $3,200. A year and a half later, it got stolen. I got $4,200 for it. It was funny because now the statute of limitations is up on this, but when it got stolen, the cop came out and was asking me questions. Did you have a spare key? Was it in the car? I was like, no, sir. He goes, did you have anything in the car that was of value? Oh, thanks, Mac. And I was like, I said I had a toolbox. It wasn't as extensive as what I have now, obviously, but he goes, were there any power tools in there? And I said, no, sir. And he goes, I don't think you heard me right. Were there any power tools in there? And I went, yeah. He goes, that's what I thought you said. So he was writing up the report. So evidently at the time there was a master key going around for that model of Accord, and people were just going around, unlocking the door, popping in, driving it, and taking. And it was a manual transmission too. So of course,
this was prior to the running gag of the millennial anti-theft device. That was much more commonplace then. Speaking of cops, hey, being decent folks, told the officer at the scene of the crash, my gag about the ribeye, no, T-bone. Yeah, T-bone's supposed to be dinner, not right now. Got a chuckle out of him. So the sense of humor remains sick if intact.
Yeah, most of the cops I've actually come in contact with were pretty not when I had to call after Brian Baker, we locked him in my handcuffs and broke the key off, and we couldn't get him out of the handcuffs, so we had to call the non-emergency police at 2:00 in the morning. And he came out, and the cop came out.
Have you heard of a hacksaw?
These are real police handcuffs. I have a set of real handcuffs. They just don't have the key for them. The key broke off in them.
Have you heard of a blowtorch? There are ways around this.
At 2 a.m.? Who do I know that has a blowtorch at 2 a.m. that doesn't have...
Find a 24-hour Lowe's. Duh.
So I called the cop out, and all my friends have gone mercifully. Thank goodness, because that's embarrassing. But now there's 2 guys there, and one's in handcuffs. So, but anyway, I explained to him what happened. I was like, "This has got to be the weirdest call you've gotten all night." He goes, "You would be surprised, man." Okay, thanks. I got to get Brian on pod one day to tell that story. That's a good one. 92 IIHS, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety Vehicle Research Center, opens, creating consumer demand for more safety. So
I would have thought that had been around a lot longer.
I would have thought so too. 92. BJF or BJC was in office. Bill Clinton, William Jefferson Clinton. And then 05. Blood alcohol content becomes the legal driving limit in every state of 0.08%.
Remember that drop from 0.10 because when I went through driver's ed, it was 0.10.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, mine was 08, but you're a couple of years older than me, so.
That might have been a state-by-state transition along the way before it became nationwide. That roughly one drink due in. Like, that seems rather overkill.
Yeah.
So you had the initial rollback to...
Hey, Adam.
Adam, what's up, man?
We're also live on camera, too. So you can wave to the people if you want to. Or no. And I don't know if you know Mac or not, but Mac, have you met Adam before? Well, you're about to be BFFs.
Yeah. Do you still pogo? Do you still pogo?
Pogo.
Pogo. Congratulations, you're best friends.
Wait, the clown, John Wayne Gacy? Oh, wrong pogo. Sorry. Okay.
But with the initial restraint mandate in '89, that was the airbag, or the automatic seatbelt, or the door-mounted seatbelt that GM milked something fierce.
The Starion, before it had the automatic seatbelt, in '86 had the door-mounted seatbelts.
Oh, that was such a dumb thing. Like, it's an emergency release only, wink, and getting away with that as long as they could until dual airbags were mandated in cars in '94. And
was 94?
And in trucks by 97.
Huh.
Trucks had no mandate of safety at all until 97.
Well, it's funny because I think if your truck or SUV meets certain weight requirements now, you don't have to disclose fuel economy numbers.
Yeah,
so you don't have to pay like gas guzzler tax.
8,000 pounds. So some of these diesel Rams or whatnot are simply heavy for the sake of being heavy.
Jesus Christ!
It's like you can get 20 miles a gallon in it, but your oil change is going to murder your wallet.
Oh my God! I think the Viper V10 was 12 quarts of oil, but that's a big engine.
Yeah,
and so
versus the 2.7 Tacoma took 6, and the S2000 took 6. Like,
yes, and
absurdly high oilings for fairly small engines, but.
Well,
if some oil is good, more is better, right?
Well, yours was a big two-cylinder.
Yeah.
Yours was a big four-cylinder, and mine was a high-revving engine. So, but the Wrangler takes 6. The Cherokee took 6. The S2K took 6. The TSX took 5, which was a pain in the ass. Which is a pain. 6 is a pain in the ass, but 5 is really a pain in the ass because you buy the jug, and then you have to buy one more fucking quart of oil. No, that's 5. The jug's 5 quarts.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
5.
it's a pain in the ass.
So
it was more of a pain in the ass to do 4 because you.
Well, no, you got to get your measuring cup out and do not ever let that go to your kitchen.
Right.
Problem solved. Next question.
Oh, Jesus Christ! And then 2010 Volvo includes the City Safety Crash Avoidance Technology standard on XC60 models. But we could go on for a little while about warning. Crash. Let's do the lane departure and shit like that. I'm gonna get us 2 more.
Cool.
What do you want?
Surprise me.
All right, cool. Keep the people entertained.
All right.
And you don't have anything to spill on your lap or your tablet this time.
Yeah. I've not done a very good job of cleaning up since last time. Whoops. Yeah, it's been really interesting to see the change along the way of what's good, what's bad, what's safe, what's not. Colin, maybe you're listening. You still got your '94 Mustang. Maybe for better it hasn't run much since that would be effectively a dangerous car, not as bad as its predecessor. I've seen the noses wiped off many of the famous Fox Body Mustangs, so please be careful out there, folks. That was terrifying. I don't recommend it. And no wonder the Scion IM remains quite popular. It's like, it's I find it to be an attractive, if not fast, car, but now can vouch that, yes, it's quite safe. All 8 airbags in that one. I slept really well that day. That was Friday, so now we're the Thursday after. Yeah, Thursday after that. Feel less bad. Got checked out. Nothing's broken. But certainly really sore, like having to be on my feet all the time. I'm already struggling with neck, leg, back, knee, shoulder pain, and this amped it up that much more. I need to find some other line of work, and whatever imaginary job I've got through where I am now still isn't doing anything. That was supposed to happen by the end of first quarter. Well, second quarter's here. Nothing's going on. I got to get out of this rat race. And I feel he did such a better job of monologuing this stuff, and I just really just wiped the hell out.
You all right?
Keep the people depressed.
Well, somebody's got to do it. This is a bourbon barrel quad ale.
Is that the other Kick Me If You Dare?
Oh my God, that's delicious. 34. I don't remember who. It was too full to cheers you, so.
Cheers myself, no friends.
Matt, can you read what number 34 said? That's the one we got.
It says rule.
Oh, Doyle?
Rule 34.
Doyle rules 34. Eternal extraction. Sounds like the worst dentist ever. Oh, yeah, bourbon barrel quad.
Mac, beer 34 is rule. You're welcome.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye,
That's
amazing.
amazing. That's amazing. That's the best thing ever. Oh, Jesus.
Guys, identity theft is out of control.
It even looked like us. Yeah, Mac, you were here when
I'm
they
looking pretty
did
pale.
that. They had
they
mine
had his
and
too.
yeah, they when there were a bunch of people here, they had the. I was like, that's amazing. Good grief. Going back to it, I'm not a big fan of the lane departure. I think there's a lot of technology now.
I got a feeling there are a lot of people that could use it, though. My first
true.
experience with that was in Charleston a few years ago, where my Uncle Mike picked up a RAV4 hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the fully loaded bells and whistles, these being some of the aforementioned whistles, to demonstrate it. And going on the roads of Folly Beach, they're not exactly marked well, so trying to showcase this feature didn't quite work. So I'd go up and across a bridge so you could veer it and then test as this thing's going apeshit.
Yeah.
Which is the big difference of the 16 Scion IM to the 17 Corolla IM. Same car, except now it has sensors in the windshield. I kept thinking it's in the nose, and no, it's a pair of sensors mounted just above the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
So to the untrained eye, nothing's different except there's a T, this oval T instead of the
More oval T, please.
Yes. Which, also being a year newer, keeps those cars a bit more expensive. They're on the hunt too, but it really sucks having this hunt for the same car under two names.
After looking for you a new
what
car,
this Matrix vibe again.
After looking for you another car, I get ads for it, and the new Corolla hatch in that blue color is really pretty.
We had one through go today. Through go today.
Through go. Hurricane through go.
Yeah. The cheapest one of those I found is in Portland in black for $14,500.
Maine or Oregon?
Oregon.
Okay.
The close or far is one's 1,000 miles away, one's 3,000 miles away. The one that 3,000 miles away, black, already with aftermarket rims on it, it looked awesome. 5,000 miles on it, this is suspiciously cheap.
Yeah, that thing's been wrapped around a tree 7 times, but somebody's actually going to get a good car that you had. If they can, because
the cheapest local I am found is, hey, it's white, it's in Bun, so Fayetteville-ish, $8,200 salvage title. How salvage is this?
Well, if I'm not buying relic or anything.
Yeah.
If I'm just buying a commuter car, which is what you want, if it was like a rear side impact and like dented in salvage title, but if it was like driver's side
or like what my car went through, where it's caved in. Did I show you more of the pictures on that?
Not the daytime ones, actually.
Ooh, it's
not good.
You better call it California Raisins. It's shriveled.
If salvage title car, rebuilt title. A salvage title means it's still fucked.
Yeah.
A rebuilt title, so that we have to kind of get the nomenclature right. But if you're buying it for like just a good commuter car and it wasn't like a driver's side or front, if it was a rear or like rear side or something like that, like NSXs were notoriously bad about being totaled because it was an aluminum body. And so it was
much more difficult to repair than steel.
Correct.
Because there's a fine line between melting your aluminum and vaporizing your aluminum.
Yeah, because my White Starion was wrecked in the front, but it wasn't totaled.
I think that's your third album title, the fine line of melting your aluminum and vaporizing your aluminum.
Oh, Jesus. I've been working on the album again. I've been sad that I haven't been doing it and felt guilty, and I felt so much happier the last 3 days that I've worked on the album. And now I redid all the vocals yesterday in about an hour and a half on the whole song, and harmony, lead, and everything, and I got it perfect exactly the way I want it. So now I have to just kind of make myself do it instead of like not doing it and then feeling shitty about, you know what? So now I'm just going to make myself do it, and just a little bit a day. I don't have to do it for like 2 hours. Just do it for 30 minutes or so. Do a little bit of mixing, do some more writing. But I do think I'm going to do that cover of I Don't Know Anything. I think that would be really cool. I'm going to do a heavier cover of it and kind of tune it down a little bit. But going back, I don't like the lane departure warning. Like if you need a sensor on your car to tell you not, or to tell you to pay attention and not merge it to another lane, you don't need to be driving.
Yeah.
Like
this is when, autopilot being a full-on real thing is for you.
Right.
Not whatever Tesla, Cadillac are trying to peddle it upon the masses, but any sort of thing of that, or, an actual cab.
How capitalistic is that, though? It sells you the problem so it can sell you the solution. If you need to be told that, or if you need a beeper in your car telling you, "Oh, you're going into this lane," you shouldn't be fucking. I understand the backup
usually
cameras and
those
stuff,
reflectors work pretty well too.
Yeah, I completely understand. Jesus, or going down Lawyers when you hit the not speed bumps in the road, but that telling you to slow. Brrr,
yeah,
brrr. I hate that shit so fucking much. Maybe because my tires are like this fucking big now, but
ever taken one of those in a bicycle?
No.
I'm surprised I'm not missing teeth from that one already.
Well, you got more. Although I did read somewhere in Japan they're actually testing a injection where it will regrow teeth in your gums. Leave it to Japan to do that. I'm surprised I haven't done that before.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. I'll be a shark.
Be Gary Busey. Did you see the Stewie?
So it'll just be addendums to accent teeth instead of just extra rows of teeth.
Did you see what Stewie did? That he put the dentures in. He
or
goes,
is this going to be the most amazing thing for orthodontists ever, or the worst?
He said, "Look at me. I'm Gary Busey. I'm frequently aggressive in situations that don't call for it." Bye, Richard.
Bye, me.
That made my day. That was excellent. And completely unexpected. What else that's a modern safety feature that's supposed to be a good thing, but that we just don't like? I understand backup cameras. I just don't.
Automatic emergency brake.
Huh?
There are cars now that, with the much akin to my irritants with the electronic parking brake.
Right.
There are cars that will, upon full stop and, place into neutral upon being cut off or placed into park, will automatically engage the parking brake.
I don't like that.
And, by that point, your emergency brake is an on-off switch. There's no gradients there anymore. So for proper hooliganing, you would need to, say, install your own. Or if you could, have some sort of dial from 0 to 100 to engage it. You have a car that's got the automatic thing, and then you have to put in drive and then switch off your e-brake, or vice versa. Is really irritating. That's how you get some tail dragging Pacificas, by the way.
I don't like that. I don't like any push button transmission or parking brake or anything like that. Just for that, buttons fucking break.
Yeah.
When was the last time your e-brake broke?
I've never encountered that.
Me either.
I've
they
encountered
got loose.
it maybe, getting loose and I threw up, but kickstand. Never failed me, but the standard thing of park the car in gear and e-brake on, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
In the 93 Camry, that was a bit more of a risk, so I stopped using the driveway since that was steep.
Yeah,
but in other cars, that was probably the loosest of the e-brakes was in that car.
I tightened the one in the Cherokee, but I would have to tighten it every 2 years just because it would just get a little bit loose, and I would take the center console off and everything. But that one's nice. But Emily pulls hers up.
Shucks.
Emily pulls hers up 3 clicks, and it doesn't hold the car. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
Yeah.
And I'll drive it, and I'll pull it up 4 or 5 like a normal person. She's like, don't pull it up so high. I'm like, it's not that high. It's like It's like
at no point are you going to take this thing so high you can't give it that extra half tick to mash the button down and push it down.
Exactly.
I mean, maybe you could do it so that she wouldn't be able to, but there are limits to this equation.
Yes. Well,
I Saab put the ignition switch in the floor.
No.
Safety. Because this predate
steering column.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if your keys are in between the seats, you're not going to be impaled by your keys in the case of a crash.
Well, true, but how many keys? Is every Saab owner a janitor? How many keys do you have on your key ring?
Hi, you never valeted, have you?
Yeah,
mine's pretty barren too.
I had Emily's on there too, but it doesn't start the car. Her valet key doesn't start the car.
That's not a valet key. That's simply a utility key.
Yeah.
I had one of those made for previous sign, and I'm not repeating that. That was an expensive thing I used rarely.
Yeah.
You've never valeted, so you've never seen the atrocities that are people's keychains. Probably the strangest things being, lanyards, completely worthless, and you're taking up too much room, and the pom-poms. This 4-inch ball of fluff on this lady's keychain. It's like, this is just blocking my view of every other key I need to dig up.
Is she in heaven with her boyfriend? Is she in the Pom Pom Club? Oh, wait, that's the Tom Tom Club.
I don't see what a non-Garmin GPS has to do with any of this.
Every now and then I'll see somebody driving with a Garmin old one, and I'm just kind of snicker to myself. I'm like, where are you trying to go? Are you trying to go to Radio Shack? Where are you fucking going in that thing?
The fancier caravans in the last of the towns and countries have Garmin-based GPSs.
No way.
And that interface did not change since 2009 when I got my GPS back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So that means if you have the GPS running, you can click on your current speed. You can see what the maximum recorded speed on this GPS was. I have no idea how at one time my GPS thought the Tacoma ever did 230, because this is also during the time I hadn't flown. And then somewhere along the way it brained itself, and then the next highest speed was 179.
Still.
Also impossible by 101 miles an hour.
Anything you've driven it will not top out at 179.
Yeah.
Wait, anything I've owned will not top out at 179.
The fastest I've done, this is also 19 years later, the VR666, $130 around Kannapolis on 85.
Nice. I got the S2K up to 125. It got there shockingly quickly for what it is.
The C's Scion did 105 on undisclosed road.
Mm-hmm. Now the Starion actually, I ran out of room, but I got it up to 120. But it got there pretty quickly, though. And when I pulled over, I always popped the hood when I got home, just to kind of
What's glowing?
the
What's
turbo.
smoking?
The turbo was smoking red hot. Like, it was so cool looking. But that's what it's made to do.
As long as the brakes aren't matching.
That's fair, man. Brian Supra's front brakes are like 16-inch. Like they're humongous. It's crazy to look at.
Pizzas.
Exactly. I could go for. All right, what's the dinner sitch?
She expects me to be out, and I like the Hawthorne's idea a lot because hey, it's here.
Yeah, it's true, and it's not.
So you want to play along too?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
The Mexican's always good, but I had Mexican for lunch, and 2 Hawthorne's is there. So, Adam and Mac, what are y'all doing for dinner? We're gonna go to Hawthorne's afterwards. All right, Hawthorne's after for dinner. All right, cool. We got to force them.
Sweet.
Let's see here.
If you're watching this and you can text me, let me know now. We'll save a place for you.
Yes.
Oh, we got a party at 22? What? It's never that busy.
His name is not the Tom Bodette Club.
We'll leave the pizza on for you.
Sounds like a plan to me. Saturday or Sunday, I got home from Raleigh and the 90th birthday of Emily's grandmother, and they brought me home with food. And I got home, but I was sad because I didn't want to go to work or the next day. I'm like, I have food here, but I don't want to be at home. So I went to Pizza Peel, and I got wings and nuts and beer and all that good shit. So
just like the end of the last pod. How about that?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, I ain't been to the Mexican joint in a while, but I eat way too much at the Mexican joint most of the time. So.
Wait a minute.
I told her I had Mexican at lunch, and by that I mean a bunch of cheese.
I've got a bunch of Italian leftovers at home.
Oh,
Yeah,
you don't actually speak Italian?
Qua?
Hello.
You can sign Italian. That's a little different.
I don't know very Testarossa. So
my favorite search term.
Yeah, me. I add a couple extra ones to that, but yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. You're gonna get them Asians with red hair and freckles? Nope. All right.
I'll watch Aquafina, just don't listen to her.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, she's okay. So I say
that show of hers was really funny.
Yeah. They had another one called Dasani. It was pretty similar, but it was a different carrier. Aquafina, Dasani. There you go. Him got it.
Where's Hawthorne's in relation here? Just up the road?
Fucking right there. That building on the adjacent to Char Bar.
I was like, guys, we could take the new taxi.
We could.
I haven't rolled out a Mazda 5 with a stick.
That would be
Those
fucking
are
cool.
Really fucking difficult to find.
Yeah, but that would be so cool to
after
have.
this, I would not mind a larger vehicle. And for sheer absurdity's sake, to have a third row of useless seats.
Uh-huh.
And it not be a 3-row Kia Sorento stick, because apparently that's also a thing.
True. Yeah. Remember, my
So I'm a little hesitant about Hyundai Kia exploding engines.
Well, you remember my requirements for vehicle were I just need a decent ground clearance, carry music stuff, and have a manual transmission. My options were really limited, and as much as I like the Outback and the Forester XT,
It felt a little too delicate.
it did. It had leather and you know me. If I'm loading music and shit and throwing stuff in, I need a little bit of ruggedness and durability. And
I'm surprised you haven't just leave the rear row seats down all the time. AstroTurf it. It'll cost you $7 at Ollie's. I picked one up for shits and giggles.
The problem
that was mostly to mitigate a leak on the outside of the house, but that's better now.
Well, the problem with leaving the seats down too, some of my equipment kind of rattles a little bit, and so the seats being up actually helps hold it in place a little bit better. But I do have the cargo tie downs. I need ratchet straps or Jeep. I'm sure Jeep sells something to keep the shit from sliding around.
Have you been to Harbor Freight? You can get ratchet straps for 2 pennies.
I've still never been to Harbor Freight.
Go. Especially when it's 30% off everything.
When is that?
Random. I'll let you know next time it happens.
All right.
Hell,
So,
I've got $45 store credit there right now from stuff I bought and didn't want.
ooh.
Also, most of it was like stuff bought with card I got for Christmas, and it's like, do I really need this handheld digital infrared wireless thermometer? No.
Need is subjective, sir.
Yeah, and like
I don't even try to like.
well, it definitely didn't work well as a self-body check thermometer because I kept showing up 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bit low. Otherwise, at work, like I keep punching in about the Cat Country station at 96.9. It's like, cool. Well, now I don't want to listen to myself.
Hey, I'll do it for you.
Aren't you here now as you're listening to this?
Maybe.
And then the other country station, 1037, because I know this because I keep getting tormented by the stuff at work. But on HD radio, 1037 HD2 is all Southern rock.
Oh.
That I can deal with.
True.
The smoke.
It always cracks me up when they do it's 90.7 WFAE or 90.3 WFAG.
No.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was FAH.
I think it's WFAG. Are you going to check that out for me? But
I really think it was WFAH Hickory.
Do you know what? Do you know why some are W something something, and then other ones are K104 point? Do you know what the difference
Which
is?
side of Mississippi you're on?
Yep, exactly. I'm not surprised you knew that. I'm sad that you knew that, and I couldn't tell you something you didn't know. But I think it's either.
I don't know much, but I've known that one a long time.
It's either WFAG or FHE. I can't tell what they're saying.
WFH.
I'm pretty sure it's WFAG.
WFHE.
HE.
Might be.
It might be a.
I can't. WFAE repeater.
Yeah, it's HE 90.3, FHE. HE, but it kept sounding like WFAG. It's HE. Okay, that makes me a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, I got a feeling there's not going to be call sign W British Cigarette.
Smoking. This is dynamite.
That
by
was,
the way.
Like I said, 1372. Back in the day. 90.7-3 was exponential radio out of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Playing just the weirdest music ever. But I don't think it's that entertaining anymore.
Yeah. Pretty much if I'm driving, I'm either listening to NPR or like a podcast through my aux cord. But it always bothers Emily, like on the way home from a show when she comes to the shows. Rarely. She'll want to listen to music on the way home. Like, honey, I just got done playing music for 3 hours. Like, I kind of just want to listen to, like, a radio show. So, and, of course, what did we listen to on the way home from the last time she watched? Was a Snap Judgment where, I think it was Snap Judgment or This American Life, but it was telling a story about grandparents. And it was about the grandfather that died, and then she thought about her grandfather that died. And so she was in tears all the way home. Like, wonderful. Thanks. Now I feel like a total shit bag. And I'm also being sun fucking blocked. There we go. I'll just face this way. Yeah,
This won't help you.
Well, I just can't look this way.
Just wear these on the side of your head, and you'll be fine. See?
Ear glasses.
There you go.
It's ear glasses.
Adam, Mac. He's getting blinded over here, so I have an idea.
I just have to. I can't look this way. I have to. So we want to do
wrapped up like a douche, you say?
It's so songs from 1985.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do a thing.
In honor of episode number 85, we're gonna do all the songs and albums you love from 1985. The first up is "Take on Me" from Aha, and he can actually still hit that note too. It's a beautiful. Yeah. I said he. I can, but I'm not going to.
I'm not Swedish enough, sir.
Oh, you're Swedish. You're more than
Well,
Swedish.
wait. Ancestry did have me as 30% Swedish and then took away. It's like, no, I'm taking that and running.
Yes.
My first 2 cards were Volvos, damn it.
And I could put together an IKEA book bag and not fucking look at the directions. So take...
Wait, book bag?
Book bag. Take on me, 85.
It's bookcase!
By the way, there's a lot of great songs from 1985. Are you on the same thing? Just put songs 85 into Google.
On the Google. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So thanks to the Breakfast Club, Don't You Forget About Me from Simple Minds.
I can't name another Simple Minds song, can you?
No.
Okay.
Duran's Bond theme, A View to a Kill. It's like, who are they watching getting murdered? Because the only thing that really killed was Roger Moore's career as Bond, but by 58, he was no longer as svelte looking as he was at 46 when he took over Connery, who was looking more by then like Roger Moore did in 85. Never mind, Connery was younger by 3 years versus Moore. Something I totally blabbed about on the newly renamed Sizzle's Facebase page. He appreciated it.
You skipped over Every Time You Go Away. You take a piece of me. That was.
I'm just gonna ramble on as I see fit. Never mind, Led Zeppelin had been defunct 5 years by this point.
That was lovingly described as the song that Mike Tyson sang to Evander Holyfield after that fight. You take a piece of me with you.
He's all ears.
Exactly.
Or no ears.
Yeah, he's half ears. And then Studio. I like Phil Collins.
Me too. Like that's the coincidental case of I can't tell guy's solo work from his band work from Genesis.
You know the story behind Genesis,
I'm surprised
right?
that you didn't pop up with the Raspberry Parade. Oh wait, misheard lyrics much. Prince.
I love Prince. Do you know the story behind Genesis, right? How Phil Collins got the gig?
In the beginning, no.
So, in the beginning, when Peter Gabriel left, they were trying out singers, and when they tried the singers out, they couldn't find one they liked. And Phil Collins, the drummer, was like, "Well, let me try. I can sing." And they were like, "Okay, go ahead." And he sang, and he was really good. And so they let Phil Collins sing. They just got another drummer.
Is such utter nonsense. That's not a name. That's not even how you stutter saying studio. As I
if you stuttered, had a lisp.
Studio.
Studio. I'm about to clean this off.
Mike Tyson much?
I
think I found your custom license plate. Studio.
I can't think of a good one for the Wrangler.
Studio.
I can't think of a good one for the Wrangler. Real comfortable jeans.
I am actually wearing Wrangler non-jeans right now, but they're the XTG series pants with extra pockets. It's like I think it basically means we can't spell, but don't call them cargo pants.
Don't call them a cargo. Mine are Old Navy.
Which means they'll fall apart next week. Good luck.
Had them for a year, and then I wear holes in the knees, and then when I do that, they're just become my new rock and roll pants, and I buy a new pair for my casual pants.
Do you have any leather pants doing this, or you're not feeling that fancy? I can only imagine what the upkeep is on that. And that'd be dreadfully warm.
Yeah. You skipped over Oh Sheila. You remember that one?
Vaguely.
Oh Sheila, let me love you till the morning comes. Ba, ba, ba. You don't remember?
Come to think of it, even less. But given my coworker during the tire shop days,
no,
I would even more so wish to forget any allusion to that song.
The only Sheila I know that is attractive was Sheila E. And that was the drummer in Prince's band. So it's funny how things go. Oh, if you love somebody, set them free.
That's not ringing a bell.
And if they come back, set them on fire. I do know the next one.
Crockett's theme from Miami Vice. That kept popping up on the Vice City soundtrack. Played very little Grand Theft Auto Vice City, but played the ever-living kittens out of that soundtrack. It is all the best 80s stuff.
Of course.
I had to look up, like, what is this that's playing and why do I love it so much? Brought to you by Jan Hammer.
Huh. Interesting. We'll do a back and forth. One More Night for Phil Collins. Remember that one?
Your list is not playing the part of mine because... Oh, you...
You can go. Come on. Yeah, it's fine. This is completely...
It's bouncing a bit. Yeah, that's a good one.
Half man, half biscuit.
The soup's not going to bowl for itself.
These aren't the most popular, but these are like
Mac.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So you got like Jesus and Mary Chain, Second Candy. You got like the Phil Collins you're talking about, right? Husker Du.
I still don't want to know if you're lonely.
Okay.
Could be a
No.
resource.
A lot of times we hit up like the kind of popular stuff. Like,
Adam.
Mack 'em. Rack ball, rack 'em. Let me see that.
So many sides.
No.
No, we had no idea. We had no idea they were doing that. Yeah.
And they're surrounding you.
We had no idea they were doing that.
No, it's a daymare.
What was that?
I thought you guys.
No.
We had no idea.
It just gotta happen.
We had no idea. I've paid somebody's salary here by now, though, so like it's. I like it here. We play here too, like so. Well, we don't play here.
You played here.
He played the skin flute.
This is my first time here since pre-pandemic times.
Really?
It's always been a cool time. Yes. Because there was a while that they were relegated to only patio seating.
Right, and sometimes, like, I'd say 2 or 3 times a week there's food truck, and it's always a dynamite food truck. The Nacho Average food truck was where I had the chorizo nachos. My man. Oh, my God.
I came here one day and drank 5 beers waiting on lobster food truck, only like balk at the pricing of lobster food truck. Never mind, like, I spent $30 on beers here.
Well, you'd have spent $30 on lobster food trucks, so.
Dumb.
DFW has a minigun, as we're seeing from the.
Interesting.
Yeah. Exactly.
I always find that misleading because a minigun is so big.
It's going to be interesting editing this episode because there's so many. I had to pick up ambient noises and not pick up certain ambient noises. I'm not even going to edit that at all. I'm just going to like fucking. I'm going to upload it.
I think somebody messed up. It was supposed to be the MANY gun. Just like if you have a bunch of mice, it's mini mice. Minnie Mouse? Minnie Mouse.
Power of Love from Huey Lewis?
Yeah, because Back to the Future was also 85.
Yeah.
Because I would know this back and forth.
But I also know Broken Wings from Mr. Mister.
Yep.
I like that song.
That's a lovely song.
I can't name another Mr. Mister song.
Something about Kiri.
Oh, Carrie. That was Mr. Mister?
Yep. Kiri!
Bless you.
That would have been early Schwarzenegger, so you can only imagine merging those two together.
That's interesting.
You're welcome, America.
I had no idea that was Mr. Mister.
That was the magic of trying to listen to the best of Mr. Mister and like only manage to place a song and a half.
So here's a fun story for you before we get our final beer. There was a girl I went to high school with named Carrie A, and she was an absolute doll. Super nice, very pretty, and we made a pact with each other.
Was she real?
Yeah. We made a pact with each other that we would get married to each other if we were both not married by 30. I got married before 30. I'm very, very happy I did because it just kind of turned out that it probably wouldn't have been...
Someone didn't hold up their side of bargain to remain...
No, it was just like... I really hope she's not watching this, but I've just heard a lot of get around, round, round, she gets around. then
She's a Beachy Boy? Have I played that for you?
no.
The Beachy Boys?
No.
That will be immediately off air to be
All
the
right.
most incredible thing ever. Like, I'm upset this doesn't exist outside of, like, 2 sound clips.
What's next, you think?
Burger
Beer-wise.
Oh, surprise me. Or I surprise you, or how's this working? What are we doing?
I don't know. I think we should kick the keg some more.
Okay. Well, one's already broken, and the new thing that I didn't go to yet, Middle James, didn't suck.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I need to get that.
Yes. We're just getting derailed a lot looking this stuff up, but yeah, there's some pretty fantastic stuff here. I had no idea that former Eagle Glenn Fry did You Belong to the City, because he sounds nothing like that in The Heat Is On, but that would have been chronicled previous episode had we bothered talking about Axel Foley and his mishaps, or the Songs of 84. We didn't talk about last episode. I don't remember much of this. Let's show up. Can you tell? I'm having fun. Hope you guys are too. I was about to get Separate Lives confused for Separate Ways from Journey. Well, I'd be very wrong with that. Broken Wings from Mr. Mister, we just said. Fantastic tune. Freeway of Love. Try not to confuse Aretha for Tina Turner. Good thing I was 89. Would Google lie to me? No, that's a tell it to, right? Never Surrender. Never wear your sunglasses at night. Corey Hart. You didn't lose my number.
Oh. Milli Vanilli? Or
Philly Vanilli.
Philly Vanilli? That would be a great cheesesteak name. Have a vanilla bean infused.
I'm reading ahead and commenting badly.
All right.
Philly Vanilli.
The vanilla cheesesteak, Philly cheesesteak. Philly Vanilli. Philly Vanilli.
Philly Vanilli. All right, fine. It's going to be It's going to be vanilla milkshakes and Philly cheesesteaks.
Fuck yeah.
Neither of which I've made. Like, best I can offer you is a Denver steak cut thin, and it's going to be amazing.
I think I got the middle James.
This tastes the part too, or is it something different?
Shit. I got the bourbon barrel one again. I didn't get the middle James.
You got a shorter trip.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah.
I'll take that.
It'll be all right.
Okay.
Katink, damn it.
Oh yes, sorry. Or as Rhett and Link say, dink it and sink it. I like Crazy for You from Madonna, but I like Madonna. Do you like Madonna?
Yep.
I do too. I every song has just been. You got to pay the water bill.
That too. Just
Stretch. It's not.
Mike Easter is getting numb.
Well, that's coming up Sunday.
More about that in a moment.
Okay.
Completely unrelated.
Okay, then I'll wait to. I'll wait. Steve's got to pay the water bill, so if somebody wants to jump in and just be a guest for the next 30 seconds, please do so. Uh-oh. Mac Attack Kramer. What's up, mans?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, not a lot. She said She said we're welcome to do it almost like anytime we want to do. Just give her a heads up.
Nice.
Yeah, so it would be. What better way to grow an audience than
To do it right in
to do it on
front of 'em,
location? Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Like, I think either we're going to do it Saucer next or do it at Noda, where there's a lot of
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
But that's great.
Well,
Like,
I wanted
that's
to
the whole point.
I wanted to make sure the software played nice with this old ass laptop that Steve gave me.
I tell you, I know Facebook is suffering a little bit because it's running off of the cell phone microphone instead of these badass microphones.
It's fine.
Which will live.
Yeah,
But
it's fine.
I was like, I went over to them and asked, like, "Hey, are you guys able to like split the volume from this side of the?" They're like, "No,
It's
just coming
okay.
from the ceiling," which it's cool. It will live.
I figured it would be a little bit hard for the live, but we've been doing the live video for like 20 episodes, and I
Yep.
didn't want to stop doing it. So.
Right. Yeah, no, it's still definitely legible. It's just you deal with all the other noise as well. So.
It's kind of for the. I don't. We got like close to
visuals.
1,800 downloads now, and I feel like if we keep doing it on location, if that grows, just if doing it on location grows it by 200 every month, then that just it grows it enough to.
It's an exponentialization right there.
Well, I used to get kind of sad it wasn't but the thing is, like, it took my music career a long time where I was playing regularly and getting paid for it. So you kind of just have to keep at it, keep at
gotta
it.
going.
Exactly. So I wish we could have had guests on, but it would be easier to do guests on location somewhere else because we knew this was a tiny place. But if we do it at Noda, it'd be cool to have like a couple of guests out and everything
Right.
too. So
Yeah.
it'd be cool. Anything exciting going on with you?
Oh, got a new PC.
Oh,
They left that shit in the rain, though. Hey. Fuck. Yeah, no.
they left it in the rain.
They left it in the rain. The box was actually swollen when I got it.
What?
I had to dry it out for like 6 hours. So
Jesus.
that's happening in my life, but it works, which is great. Like that saves everything because knowing that graphics cards and processors and everything else in the world right now is on a 3-month delay because of COVID.
Wow.
At the very least, like Best Buy is talking about, oh yeah, we'll get some shipped in like 3 months. I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm waiting 3 months. So,
All that shit now.
it's true, exactly. But everything's good. I'm actually going down to Florida tomorrow for my family's. They're doing an engagement party for me and Emily. So
Okay.
yeah, about to hit that up, but looking forward to that. And otherwise, wanted to get some brews and watch you guys.
Well,
Just,
cool. Glad we can have dinner together afterwards.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
Well, cheers.
Cheers. I don't have any beers. I finished mine, so
I got you.
I was gonna bring it over, but whatever.
I got you. Well,
Yeah.
we'll be finishing up and
Steve, tag team.
Steve, tag out.
Tag. Moving.
Mr. Matt Kramer, everybody. His third official visit.
So much room for activities, bro.
two white FCA vehicles side by side. I'm sure there's something that's shared on.
Because 3.6.
Is it the same engine? It's got to be.
Apparently so, yeah. And it's struggling to get 21 MPEGs.
I know that feeling, but yours is significantly more aerodynamic, and it's not aerodynamic at all.
Gotta just stroke out thinking of that. Yeah. It's not completely flat-fronted, but it ain't far off. I think shape-wise, they're not terribly different. Maybe a little more raking of windshield and hood.
Mm-hmm. There's after the big singles, there's not a lot of things I'm recognizing on here.
Well, it's just kind of mumbling along with "You Belong to the City" by Glenn Frey of the Eagles. Like, A, I had no idea it was him. 2, sounds so very different from The Heat Is On. Never mind how much I love that song.
You love The Heat Is On?
And how much I want to merge that into Morphine's Honey White. Both sax-heavy songs and the beat between the two, it would totally work. Otherwise, it's more of a
Should we do the death metal tribute to The Heat Is On?
That too. That's gonna be way heavier than what I had in mind, but hey, why not?
Yeah.
Mark Sam's been dead for 22 years, man.
Really?
He was only privy to morphine probably right after the 20th anniversary of his death, so just happened to stumble upon, hey, it's this band Morphine. Well, already cool name.
Yeah.
A Cure for Pain. Nice title.
Do they cover Painkiller from Judas Priest?
If only. That would be really strange if it. He is the painkiller.
That sounds more like Richard Cheese.
It's that's because I'm trying to morph this in together. Otherwise, it would be the heat is on. It's on the street. The heat is on. It's on your feet. The heat is on.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, I got UB40. Did I Got You Babe cover from Sonny and Cher?
How much I hate UB40.
Yeah, you don't like them at all.
Don't know.
Oh Jesus. Well, you don't like red wine, right?
I just don't. The drink, yes. The song, no. Like this. I'd rather listen to "And She Was" by the Talking Heads, not their strongest effort.
Oh, Party All the Time from Eddie Murphy.
Oh wow,
That was awesome. I mean, awesome, bad, but awesome.
I was not born in a small town, but you were.
Where was that? I didn't see that anywhere.
John Mellencamp.
Motherfucker, where is that?
Better Talking Heads tune, "Road to Nowhere," because Bryson City.
Oh yeah.
What's up, 1943? Like, I'm so fascinated by that. Like, what could this have been?
Are you? All right, so I know money was a little bit tight for some people, but like, if we can get a cabin and it's paid for, all you gotta do is pay for your ride up there.
And oddly enough, like by then, I will be doubly vaccinated.
Okay.
So
cool.
It's suddenly looking less awful. Oh, hey, by the way, while looking for urgent care options, discovered that me being in transportation qualify for Kovac. So Monday, prior to the bar, I got my first shot, and somehow the next day, my arm was bugging me more than the rest of me. Since then, my back is still speaking up, but for a moment there,
Yes.
it had its moment to shine, and I feel no otherwise worse for it.
You gonna let it shine? Are you gonna let it shine? Is the love's light gonna shine all day?
No, but Talking Heads' "Road to Nowhere" was another 85 tune. Like, I like that one a lot.
And She Was another Talking Heads, and I'm not as familiar with that one.
One of my least favorite Tom Petty songs. Don't Come Around Here No More.
All right, so the video is awesome.
Yeah.
But the
song is lacking.
Yeah, that's
irritating.
It was so much different than every other Tom Petty song. Like it. What's your favorite Tom Petty song?
Mary Jane's Last Dance was like the first one that really hit me. I'm sure I could conjure up another answer not on the spot, but like everybody loves that tune.
They do.
And everybody loves that video, never mind. It's creepy as shit.
It's fucking creepy.
I mean, she's dead, but it's Kim Basinger. No, she's not really dead. Wink. What?
Yeah.
What is this, Princess Bride all over again? He could be dancing with Carrie Ellis in the 80s, and that'd be okay, too.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that was in Sharon Stone, Basinger Instinct. Man, what a time to be
I don't know what's happening, but I like what's happening.
Evidently. What? All right, Billboard. All right, so
the gentleman may prefer blondes, but this harsh one's engaged to a brunette. What?
Emily asked me what my type was, and I said tall, pale redheads. So who did I marry? A short, brunette Chinese woman. At the end of the year in '85, #1 song was Careless Whisper from Wham.
Still like that one.
I love that. Have you heard Seether's cover?
Yeah.
That's so good. It's really, really good. One of my favorite trivia team names I ever heard was the other guy from Wham.
I can't name it. You can name it. No one can name it.
No. Like a Virgin was #2. I didn't realize that was 85.
Hey, whatever that Megadeth album before, Countdown Extinction was.
jeez. And Wake Me Up Before You Go Go was on the same album that Careless Whisper was on.
Yeah, that would be really funny to get Adam on one of these to like spout off songs from the 80s you've never heard of. Like,
Yeah.
I would have placed a few of them like right off the top of my head. No, because I'm stressed, depressed, and depressed.
Distressed.
Yeah.
We're always here for
Freaked
you.
out, cocked out, and underrested.
We're always here for you.
Thanks, guys.
I want to know what love is.
Ooh.
85.
Good one. The foreign concept.
The-
Which is funny because that would be an 8-year gap from Cold as Ice,
yeah.
their debut. And that's not a terrible stray from the initial thing. Funny name, Foreigner. If I recall correctly, it's 2 Brits and 2 Americans in the band.
Technically, anywhere they would tour, 2 of them would be, or 4 of them would be foreigners.
Although if they gained a 5th member, though, all bets are off.
Five-iner.
Five-iner.
Yeah.
Or Pentiner.
We had, I'm strictly against arguing with strangers on the internet, but one time I made an exception.
That's not Brian, right? He wouldn't wear Sambas. What was this, 1994?
No, and he's a good 2 inches taller than Mr. Layton. Hello, Mr. Layton.
This guy's wearing Adidas Sambas. I haven't seen those shoes in regular rotation since elementary school.
Sorry, I hit my hair on the airplane, and nobody's ever said that saying before.
It's a hairplane because it flies over a hairport.
Jefferson Hairplane. That's the 80s metal tribute band, Jefferson Hairplane.
Jefferson Airplane.
Jefferson
Good.
Hairplane.
Jefferson
Hair Metal.
Jefferson Airplane good. Jefferson Starship bad. Just Starship even worse.
It's like every time we change our name, we get fucking worse. I had an argument.
So are you Oingo Boingo?
I don't like doing social media arguments. Sorry, Brittany, but I had a guy argue with. He said this was back when social media was first starting. Blah blah blah. He said Another One Bites the Dust was a Foreigner song. I was like, no, it's not. It's a Queen song. And I don't think he was trolling. He's like, no, man, look it up. It was Foreigner. I'm like, I don't have to look it up. It was Queen. Queen sang Another One Bites the Dust.
Was it XKCD? That's the stick figures.
I think so, yeah.
And the lady's like, hey, like, you need to go to bed. It's like, no, I can't go to bed. Someone is wrong on the internet. If I had a penny for that, I could buy my next car cash.
That blue color is a sharp color. Like, I like red more than blue, but if
yeah,
that blue color's nice.
You know, thing is, like, car good, stick better in a colored, real fine. Like
if it's not white, black, or silver, right?
Or the snot green, I'm still not keen on.
Don't speak of that unless it's a neon ACR in booger green, and then it's acceptable because it's supposed to be stupid. I have a friend that has an ACR in booger green. He called it the booger, and his license plate said booger.
Yeah, it's called spring green, and I'm not keen on it. I highly doubt my friend Kelly will be listening to this, but she has one. She loves it.
The Rolla or the neon?
It's the Cyan IM.
In snot green.
In snot green. I'm betting improperly transmission, but it was real funny. It's like, I know one person on my stupid face base that has it. She loves it. It's like, it's a good car.
Fair. Wrap it. Plastic dip it.
That's it.
Don't look at the outside. Whatever you have to do.
Or take that and then decolorize it. Primer gray.
I was going to say make yourself colorblind.
Like how and why.
How do you do that? Do we possess the technology?
No, and my stance on the Counting Crows.
You hate Counting Crows.
I really don't like them.
I like August and everything after. I do like the album.
That's the least offensive of which.
Well, Mr. Jones is. I like Mr. Jones. Long December is probably my favorite one from them. Blackwing Bird's okay, but not.
I'm sorry, that band had a song called Black Winged Bird.
Whatever the song's fucking name is.
I Belong in the Service of Queen, and yes, I like that one, but the end of it...
Yeah.
Nope. Cut the tape, 15 seconds shorter. Yeah, it's going to be all right.
It's like the Metallica Memory Remains. It was good until...
And that kid, like, good. Now this remains. No. I am not faithful with Marianne. I'm more a ginger boy. What?
Surely you can't be serious.
Never
Wink.
watched any Gilligan's Island.
Like, surely, Matson, you can't be serious. It's a...
Wait, you can't leave? You're not holding a pen on a stick.
That would be a good title. And I can't write anything down. So, Money for Nothing. Dire Straits.
Use your not tattooed arm. What portion of arm?
Leg.
Yeah. Right in your face, but backwards so you can read it later.
Money for Nothing from Dire Straits.
Complete with early 3D video.
And the artist formerly known as Stung. One of my favorites, and the tagline for this entire shindig: "Everybody wants to rule the world" from Tears for Fears.
Do you know what the original title of that song was?
Everybody wants to go to war, and they were like, "It's okay," but
and no, they don't.
Right? Yeah,
It would totally float, and in the mid '80s, that was still a very real threat.
Mm-hmm. They were one of the bands that, when they were interviewed, and they were talking, like, when they made music, they wanted to be in the studio more. They wanted to make a polished record more than they wanted to tour the entire world.
Yeah,
which is rare, actually,
yeah,
because most people want to go.
Well, thing is, the money had been in touring. That to go see, be on the road, be in the sky, be everywhere, meet your fans. Fuck your fans.
Fans
in
are
both senses of such.
Well, fans are. All right, so if you deviate too much from your original sound, you alienate those fans. If you become more formulaic, like AC/DC, but everything sounds the same. Like, you can't please everybody. So
yeah,
I forgot who it was that said it, but he said, "Make music that you love, and then hope everybody comes along for the ride with you." And now I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, you know what? I could endlessly fuck with my songs until they're perfect for me, but make something I'm happy with, and then leave it alone. And if people like it, they like it. And if they don't, who gives a shit?
And for you to be recording music nowadays is quite the gift that, if, let's say you've got some ideas, but you want, the instrumentation to sound this way or the vocals to sound this way, like... You can mix and match things together, so you've got versions A through G of a song.
Mm-hmm.
Correction, A through J of a song, because you're not Gakab. If believe in blah blah, listen to it, like it, like, all right, throw that to the wolves and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or just put out there what you like, and then later, oh, hey, by the way, here's, this demo version.
Yeah.
Which is always funny seeing the 9 Inch Nails releases, that the majors were Halo, pick a digit, and then in between were basically the singles or the remixes, and however Trent did it along the way, that you've got these things, works in progress or things done very differently, very disturbingly. That'd be really funny to see that merger, or you cover either of them.
Well, I'm going to have Karin do backup vocal on, I don't know what song yet, but I want to write a song that's very, I think 4th of July from Soundgarden.
Yeah.
It's a very, very heavy and low and slow. And then I'll do a very baritone, very gruff heaviness, and I want her bright vocals in the background, kind of like, does that make sense? I want to do something like that that's really heavy but really haunting sounding.
You're going to cover the lower to Chris Cornell, and she'll do the higher end of
Yeah,
it.
and I can do the higher, but like I want that different level to it, and I want like to have this hauntingness to it. So I need to get on that. Like the next album's not going to be 10 songs. I want to do 5 really good tracks instead of where I do a 10-song album where I'm really happy with 6 of them. I'm okay with 2, and then 2 were like throwaways, which is I kind of feel like I did with the last album. I'm glad I did it, but like I want to concentrate on. I think 5's a good one for somebody like me. Like I'm not a nationally recorded artist, so like 5 for me is okay.
You're one of the few personally recorded artists I know, so there's that. And the only band I knew that got some traction almost 20 years ago was Weekend Excursion.
Mm-hmm. Was that
uh,
Raleigh?
Between Raleigh and Boone and Origins in Greensboro.
Did they like Ford SUVs?
This predated that, actually.
Oh, nice.
Which is so funny that an expedition is a giant trip. An excursion is not a big trip. They
Wait.
kind of got flippy-floppy there.
Wait, an Okay, so an expedition's longer.
As far as trip mileage goes, an excursion is like, trip for a weekend. An expedition is more balls to the wall, hiking boots, big backpacks, maybe a pack of wolves.
Huh. In Raleigh? How's it going? We're recording an episode of our podcast, sir. Oh, yeah, it's all good. Hey, we're all special guests.
Dude, my rental car is a short bus. Yeah, look at the Caravan. That's a short
It's a rental.
Bus, special bus.
He got T-bone. He got T-bone last week, so
Don't recommend it. Better stakes than incident.
there's quite a.
So apparently, I should not return this van painted yellow because short bus. I should filter it.
We should go eat near South Park at Paco's Tacos, and we take your van because it would be Van Morrison.
Lovely idea, and I don't miss being on that side of town at all.
I didn't realize,
except for their money.
I didn't realize Adam was not at that house anymore. You say he's off of Carmel? We'll talk about that later. The Power of Love from Huey Lewis and the News?
Yeah, that was one of the 2 Back to the Future songs. Power of Love
That
is
one.
easily the bigger one. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier, but the other one was Back in Time.
Okay. All right, so the other one was God damn it. The Heat Is On was actually from that year too, but We Are the World, USA for Africa. That big horrible fucking song.
Things you won't see on this is the Dead Kennedys parodying it. USA for South Africa. During which you shan't be.
That's amazing.
Because they're next to last album, and but then there's like It stopped being good, but it was certainly a commentary on the things going on today.
Now, what is your favorite Tears for Fears song out of the four that you know? Because the next one was
World
Shout.
World totally. Goodness.
Because I play
Yeah, I was like,
Head Over Heels live.
I'm gonna have a really tough time splitting Shout versus Everybody Wants to Go to War.
you have trouble splitting those? Let it all out. These are the things I can do without. Come on, talking to you.
I think he's trying to sing his way into me picking a tune. All right, well,
They did a live version
and
of
that
Shout.
that one got picked by Disturbed to get covered, and that was rad.
They did a live version of Shout. It was heavy as fuck.
Like during new metal, like something you're supposed to hate. It's like, we all got our guilty pleasures. I got 200 CDs somewhere. They're yours if I can find them.
I haven't listened to the rest of the catalog, but Shout, the Seas of Love, Selling the Seas of Love, and then
I found like everything that wasn't a hit difficult, so that's why I kept finding your description of the podcast real funny.
I didn't have another
Yeah, it totally works.
Gearheads,
but
Beerheads, and
Tears for Fears heads.
what was the other? What's the other option?
Fear heads.
Fear Factory.
No. There was a band, Fear. John Belushi got the band Fear to play on SNL back in the day. This is basically early punk rock founded by a guy that sounds like Lemmy.
No way.
Yeah, this scared the fuck out of everybody 40 years ago. So, like, they were no longer allowed on the show, and then Belushi dies in 82. It's like, well, there's no longer his clout, and Jim's not as entertaining.
Huh.
Ooh.
Chicago. You're the inspiration.
Speaking of bands really changing direction, 80s Chicago is very different from early 70s Chicago. It's like, you're the inspiration instead of the why 25 or 64 is named such.
Explain to the viewers and listeners.
If you're in the midst of a drug bender and it's not quite 4:30 in the morning, somebody asks you what time it is. I don't know, man. It's 25 or 6 to 4. All right, correction. It's almost 4 a.m. And however, CHH brought it down. Like that. That's such the cooler song. Like, your inspiration, sweet tune. Heard it in the back of the aforementioned Chrysler minivans from back in the day, but they're early. That's definitely one of the bands where their earlier stuff's better.
Huh. I don't mind it. I actually.
Yeah, it's pleasant. It's like they start with a high bar and whittle it away, but you also never saw the movie.
New?
The Larry David and John Hamm joint, Clear History from 13, where they're working together on early electric car. Larry David's character, of course, gets pissed off, leaves, and then John Hamm, still at the helm of the company, it gets successful. Meanwhile, Larry David's character ventures off to Cape Cod to do who knows what, but no longer looks like a caveman. He looks like Larry David.
Yeah.
And then John Hamm's character decided to build a house there. And they bump into each other, and, like, Hamm doesn't recognize David. But everyone else kind of sees the pieces fit that...
Thanks, Tool.
Yeah. That Larry David's character could have been a billionaire had he stuck with it. Never mind whatever they butted heads on. Instead, he's decided he's going to destroy John Hamm's house.
I need to watch more Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And also, yes, And like during which he bumps into Michael Keaton, who is batshit and a half in this. He's awesome.
I would love to meet Michael Keaton.
It is utter nonsense. I think you're gonna like this one. You never watch anything, but watch this one. But one of the gags in the movie is like the lady that Larry David's character is interested in is Holly from The Office, and apparently she had connections to the band Chicago.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the line, he bumps into this Chechen gangster, and it's like, "What? She blew Chicago? Like 2506 floor Chicago?" So, in fact, anytime Chicago pops up, like my brain's melted. Wait, she blew Chicago?
That's a big tower. Wink.
What's she talking about, Willis?
Fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh. There's an
I
episode
probably had
of...
an omen.
An omen?
Damn it.
A moment or an oment? Moment oment.
I'm kind of pissed off I forgot to put my flash drive in the van, because then it'll be another moment of rental prodigy.
Yeah.
Which is really funny when I had the B9... The B9000, B3000, the Ranger
yes.
by a different mother,
Yeah.
that had the sub in it, and that was right after Keith Flint died.
Yes.
That was awesome. I'm surprised I'm not deaf after that one.
Was he from Michigan? Because the water's kind of shitty.
They're Flint, England. We'll get back to you on that.
With a Y.
Flint.
There's an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David's character wears a MAGA hat, and he hates Trump, but he just wants to wear it so nobody will talk to him in the airport. It's actually really funny. But my buddy, I told you about my buddy who's a comedian, Ryan Davis.
Same font, but make Britain great again.
Yes.
That would throw everybody off, much like people being totally pro mandatory vacations.
Yes. My buddy Ryan Davis, who's the comedian friend, he was in an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm. He was a TSA agent. I need to show you that episode.
This Totally Likeable Fellow is at the dredges of anybody's job at the point of ever.
Yes. We are
Oh, you poor bastard.
2 hours and 17 minutes in, so I guess we should... There's a lot of... Their Boys of Summer was 85. Material Girl was 85. What? Head Over Heels was 85. There's a lot of 85s. 85 was a good year. 86 was my birth year. And that's next episode.
You said better, awful funny.
You think 86 was a better year for music?
Considering you're born in it, baby.
Maybe. Do you want to do 86 on location?
Whatever we can do, wherever we can do it, that'd be cool.
I was thinking either Saucer or Noda.
Whatever we can do, when we can, if we can. I'm really curious what changes will occur along the way, since also today's the beginning of second Q. Therefore, I'm real curious about career development. Else, I'm about to get real or irritated, real or quickly.
All right. So you're saying the more we grow this and we get sponsorships and money for it,
Yeah.
the less you have to worry about this, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'll get right on that. That's sort of my thing.
Cool. Meanwhile, my right cheek is having none of this tool.
Yeah, I'm in a little bit better physical shape, and I'm even finding it.
Bullshit. Your ass isn't fatter than mine, man. What? Who's testing this?
Yes. Well, I think 85's been
real-
86'd.
Also, yes.
Well,
That's the whole Victor Borga thing.
yeah, it's been a pleasure. Hawthorns and Wings are calling our names. So, Pour64, thank you guys for having us here at the Cars, Bars, and Guitars podcast. 85 is in the books. 86 is coming up
If
soon.
it wasn't worth so much money, I totally would have left this place and a Nintendo 64 to mount on the wall. But there's better cent points elsewhere. Thanks,
Fair.
random guy in New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, he's Steve.
And he's still AJ.
And we are done. 86 is in the books, or 85's in
85's
85's being 86.
Yeah, therefore it's going to get redundant or next go around, then it's just 86 squared. You're going to be hip to that.
I'm not going to do that in my head because I'm hungry and I haven't eaten. So we'll see you next time, next week, or in 2 weeks.
Can or won't.
I'll figure it out. And Wonder Twin Powers activate. Form of beer. Duh. Bye-bye. You didn't say it.
What, Toodles?
Toodles.
It's been a while.
All right, it's been a while.